On my YouTube page is a thing that says Mark Norman on Norm MacDonald. It's like 30 minutes of somebody compiled me blowing Norm and just made it a video. So that's where if you wanna hear me talk about him, it's there. And just watch. There's a great channel.
I saw he retweeted one of your jokes. Not so long ago.
I reposted it on Instagram. It meant the world to me. Yeah, he has a YouTube page called I'm Not Norm, and whoever made it is like some super fan, and it's so well done, and it's got all the best shit. So check that out. I'm Not Norm.
You know, there's a videotape which will really sum up Norm that you can find on YouTube, where it's Norm shits on his producer. And some lunatic compiled all the times Norm has said crazy things about me. But one of the clips I was watching yesterday, and I can be filthy on your show, right, Adam?
Go ahead.
He said that my wife, Diane, demanded that I spit in her face during sex and would imagine she was blowing a large African-American man. He told Gilbert Gottfried this on the show.
I have visions of your name side by side on a wedding cake. You, Shelley, will be with Norm for the rest of your life.
I'm not Norm.
You're not?
Well, maybe I'm not the norm. I'm not camera friendly. I don't wear clothes that fit me.
I'm not Norm MacDonald. I don't even know who Norm MacDonald is. I'm Kevin Nealon, and that's news to me.
We've been down this road together. We've been seeing the colors fade.
Stars, it was good to see those workaholic guys, because I personally am a workaholic. For many years, I was helplessly addicted to workahol. The Roast Master General, Jeff Ross, joins us.
Hi,
yes.
Jeff.
Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, you got the first
Hello,
applause.
world.
Yeah.
Norm, this is so fun. Thank you for
man.
having me on your live podcast.
It's always fun to see you without a giant cloud of marijuana smoke between us.
Well, it's outdoors. It drifted away.
Yeah, how you doing, buddy? You got your hair cut a little.
I had a little trim. I was at the doggy groomer for 2 hours today.
Now, I have a question, Jeff. You usually show up wearing something very exotic.
Yeah.
Why the denim today?
I dressed like Billy Jack.
Yeah.
You look sharp.
Great.
I
Thank
like
you, Jenny.
it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're trying to up my game for the live YouTube show.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're a hot fucking piece of ass.
Look at that. I do all my shopping at the mall. Have you ever been to Forever 41?
Forever 41.
Norm, you're dressing like you're going to help somebody move. You're wearing sweatpants to the biggest show in YouTube history.
This is the biggest show on the internet.
You're dressed like you're going to paint the set.
He can't help himself. I gotta ask you this, though. Hey, I saw, by the way, on the computer, a show you do now called Morning Roast. Unbelievable. You wake up in the morning, you turn on your computer, there's Jeff Ross waking up himself, roasting somebody. How's that work?
Well, whatever comes to my hungover head, I just start making fun of, and I put it up on my YouTube page.
God damn, it's funny.
Who should I roast this week?
What about Cassim?
Yeah,
It would be an honor
Cassim.
if you could just do me.
He's an Arab, if that helps.
I only roast celebrities, Cassim, so you're off the hook.
Thank you.
What do you dress like? You're like Harry Potter's accountant.
You just not that up.
Well, I want to thank Jeff Ross for turning the mirror on me today. Back to you guys over there.
Like the inventor of a cure of some disease we haven't thought of yet. Look at you, like Orville Redenbacher's fluffer. I don't know. This is fun.
Good.
Thank you.
Of course, Bob Saget directed Norm MacDonald's movie Dirty Work. Yeah. A move that transformed Norm MacDonald into a star, Buck's employee.
Did you say something after Star?
Norm MacDonald's so stoned he thinks he's at a roast for Bob Seger. I love you, Norm. Wow, you never come out, Norm. You're like the J.D. Salinger of dick jokes. What's the over-under tonight? What's going to happen, Norm?
No, I wanted to read something funny, so I'm reading Marmaduke.
Oh, my God. This is what happens when you book a dais off Craigslist.
Saget roast where he was told not to work blue, and so he was told to tone it down, and then he went the completely other way? Is that what happened?
I had not heard that he was told to turn it down.
Right.
I thought he made...
You was told to turn it up?
I thought he made the choice to go so soft that was the joke. Because Saget's roast was one of the few roasts where it was mostly comics, mostly body comics, and at that point, Saget was really digging into that stuff.
Right.
The Aristocrats movie had just come out. Bob was having this resurgence as Dirty Daddy, and really a contrast from his Full House persona. And we were all went in really deep. And I purposely wrote my speech without one curse word, just to make a point that you didn't have to be funny to be dirty.
Right.
And that was my spin on it. Norm took it one step further and did Farmer's Almanac type shows. That were, like, hey, Cloris Leachman, people say you're over the hill, but don't listen to them. You'll never be over the hill. Not with that car you drive. And we looked at him like, is he having a stroke? But I already knew Norm will always go for the best joke, the way he would on SNL, the way he would on late night shows. Publicists be damned, he wanted to have the most provocative joke that the comics would talk about the next day. But on this show, he did a conceptual piece to throw softballs around the dais in an affectionate sort of way. And you can see when you listen back, the first few jokes, people are kind of polite laughs, nervous laughs. I'm a producer. I'm almost panicking.
Right, yes.
Like what, is he tanking this on purpose? We already had Artie Lang not show up. We don't want this to be a disaster. But about 5 jokes in, I can start giggling. I start to sense that something's happening. And they buy it. The audience, by the end, they're roaring as if he was Andrew Dice Clay, but doing these very soft jokes. And I think it was a nice denouement or a nice chapter from his post-SNL where he was provocative and pushed the envelope, especially with his OJ jokes.
When did you first meet him, Norm MacDonald? Jeffrey?
Oh, man. I met him. It was probably 90 or 91. I was just transitioning from open micer in New Jersey to opening MC act in comedy clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And man, Rich, I was excited. Catch a Rising Star Princeton. There's like 8 shows over 5 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was really going to get some stage time. And Rich Voss, a very funny guy, was the middle act. None of us knew each other. And Norm MacDonald flew in from Toronto. He had just done a bunch of, was it Sajax or something, who had the late night show? Or was it...
yeah, he did for a while. He did. Yeah.
I think it was Sajax. And he hit on that show and became he was popping. But no one in America really knew him.
Right.
And Norm was, this is 91, that type. This is when America, especially in New Jersey, most people wanted to see Andrew Dice Clay in an arena doing nursery rhymes.
That's right.
Now Norm comes in with this button-down shirt and a blazer, and hey, you couldn't barely understand him, and his material was tight, and callbacks and crafted and honed and economical use of the language. It was fascinating for a comedian. But if you were just a couple of knuckleheads with your dates to catch Princeton, you're used to seeing hickory dickory dock.
Yes. Yes.
He didn't bomb. He didn't hit all the time. He bombed probably 3 out of the 8 shows. And this is one of the craziest things, and I've never seen it before, Rich. After the shows, as people were paying their checks, Norm would go to the exit and greet every single customer as they left.
Come on.
The more he bombed, the longer he stayed there. And it was so hilarious. And made him a mystery to me, an enigma to me right away, why he loved that part of it. And if he killed, he'd go right out the back to the green room and break out a deck of cards, and we'd play poker. He'd love to play poker. So my first experiences with him were very, very all in, we should say.
So he'd invite me over to SNL once in a while to play poker on off nights, on Monday nights or something. And to watch him play poker while watching Monday Night Football and a baseball game, like he was a gambler.
Right.
And I guess somehow one time I found myself on a tape night on a live SNL. I'm in the hallway. I believe Rosie O'Donnell was hosting SNL, and her very best friend, Penny Marshall, was there to support her. Penny Marshall, at the height of her movie director swag, is walking through the hallway with her head down, sunglasses on, baseball hat, doesn't want to be bothered, treating all these basically writers and NBC employees and me and Norm as big timing us, pretending we're just looky-loos out on the street, right? Just doing a celebrity don't bother me moment. Flyby, thank you. And Norm picks up on it, and he just starts pointing and screaming, Laverne! 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 And she didn't look up. She never knew it was Norm. She's just gone.
Oh, my gosh.
Judge Lance Ito this week barred all potential jurors from reading Faye Resnick's controversial new book, Nicole Brown Simpson, Diary of a Life Interrupted. The judge also barred them from reading Faye Resnick's other new book entitled Judge Lance Ito is a Big Fruit. And now it's time for Weekend Update's movie reviews. This week I saw Interview with the Vampire. And here's my review. Not gay enough. This week, a court banned gays from marching in Boston's St. Patrick's Day parade, but they will still allow them to be beaten up by drunken Irish guys. I'm afraid to know what you're applauding at there. Okay. Meanwhile, Elton John continues to deny rumors that he is engaged to his tennis racket. Well, if I can be allowed a personal opinion, I think Harrison Ford's new mustache works. And by works, I mean looks really gay. In overseas news, an attempt to lift the ban on gays serving in the British Armed Forces has been defeated in Parliament. This raises a difficult legal question. How do you exactly tell if a British guy is gay? In an interview in this month's Vanity Fair, actor Tom Cruise attempts to end once and for all rumors that he is gay. Meanwhile, the U.S. Army is dealing with a scandal of its own as dozens of female recruits have charged drill instructors with sexual harassment, intimidation, and even sexual assault. Analysts are calling it the best argument yet for gays in the military. Jonathan Schmitz, the Jenny Jones guest who killed his secret gay admirer because of his fear and hatred of homosexuality, has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. Well, I guess that plan backfired, huh? And it's been reported that Keanu Reeves is engaged to actress Amanda Decadina. Asked to comment, Keanu said, "What? I thought I was gay. I'd always heard I was gay. Beginning in March, DC Comics will change Superman's traditional red and blue costume to a new form-fitting bodysuit. The problem with the old costume? Not gay enough. What the hell's going on in the country? That's not Superman. All right. TriStar's Pictures is planning a film about the 70s disco act, The Village People. While the movie will be coming out next summer, it plans to wait until Thanksgiving to come out to its parents. The artist formerly known as Prince says he now wants to be known as simply the artist. Meanwhile, I will continue to refer to him as simply the fruit. In other music news, several major acts are on tour this month, including the Counting Crows, Metallica, and the Fruit. A study on weight loss revealed this week that women who participate in a weekly diet program lost 50% more weight, snacked less, and bought more fruits and vegetables than women in general. Which just goes to prove my new theory: Richard Simmons is gay. Our top story tonight. This week, after months of speculation, sitcom star Ellen DeGeneres finally admitted that yes, she is gay. Inspired by her courage, today, diet guru Richard Simmons admitted that he is really, 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 really gay.
I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go of everything, and I'm scared of letting go.
Well, according to a new Entertainment Weekly poll, 72% of their readers say they would not be offended if a TV show lead character were gay. Though that figure shrinks to 1% when these same readers are reminded that being gay can involve anal sex. Magician David Copperfield has announced plans to open his own theme restaurant. The theme? I don't deserve my girlfriend. In one of the most amazing stories to come out of New York's blizzard of '96, supermodel Claudia Schiffer trudged over a mile through waist-high snow this week in order to make it to a photo session. Even more amazing, she sleeps with this guy. This week, supermodel Claudia Schiffer broke up with magician David Copperfield. Later, a devastated Copperfield wandered out onto the street and was hit by a bus. This, according to the current issue of Things I Wish Really Happened. In other entertainment news, a religious group in Chile is trying to ban a new Claudia Schiffer film which features explicit lesbian sex scenes. According to the group, sex between two women is an abomination before God, almost as blasphemous as sex between a woman and David Copperfield. I don't know which is worse, which is more of an abomination. Julia Roberts told reporters this week that her marriage to Lyle Lovett has been over for some time. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Julia Roberts and that she was married to Lyle Lovett. Christy Brinkley told reporters this week that her marriage to Billy Joel was over long before their divorce. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Christy Brinkley and that she was married to Billy Joel. In a recent interview, Christy Brinkley suggested that football players should have special gloves connected to lights on their helmets. That way, when they catch the ball, you'll know who has possession. Read these and other interesting ideas in Christie's new book, I'm an Idiot. In Niagara Falls, Arthur Curley has been charged with trying to make his girlfriend swallow a small brass bear, then urinating on her and setting fire to the oxygen tube that she uses to treat her emphysema. Read all about this kind of relationship in the new book, Men Who Make Their Girlfriends Swallow Brass Bears, Urinate on Them, and Set Fire to Their Oxygen Tubes, and the Women Who Love Them. And in a recent interview, tenor Luciano Pavarotti says that he is so in love with his new girlfriend that he likes to run nude on the beach with her. Read all about this in this month's issue of Things That Make Me Vomit. That picture makes me vomit as well. Finally, in entertainment news, there are rumors that actor Don Johnson is dating 71-year-old San Francisco socialite Denise Hale. An observer who spotted the couple necking in a restaurant will have trouble getting an erection for the rest of his life. Well, newlyweds Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson had their first argument this week. He wants kids, while she wants fake kids. Only weeks away from parenthood, Pamela Lee Anderson and her husband, rocker Tommy Lee, are considering names for their new baby. If it's a girl, they'll name it after the mother and call it Pamela. And if it's a boy, they'll name it after the father and call it Lucky Bastard.
So I was reading they're deciding what to call the baby. You understand? So they don't know. I'm with you so far, yeah. They say if the baby's a girl, they're going to name it after the mother. So they call it Pamela, right? But if the baby's a boy, then they're going to name it after the father. They're going to call it Lucky Bastard. He told it with such joy. I know.
Straight to the heart. I went a long time acting like I was a bro. Get apart by you.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, baby. You know, I just love you so much. You know, it just gets me crazy, you know? Hey! Hey! Mr. Lee, I swear, me and your wife, we were just acting, right? Tell him, honey. Honey? No. I was driving in a car. You were kind enough to bring a car to bring this old chunk of coal here to the studio.
We send cars for our guests, yes.
Yeah, so I got in it, and that's, I get material that way. So my driver...
What do you mean? How do you get material that way? You get in the car, and what happens?
My driver tells me a joke.
The driver we sent to pick you up told you a joke?
Yeah.
And you're going to tell it now on the show?
Yeah, that's how I get a lot of my material.
I was wondering about the moth joke and the dolphin joke that they told on the Conan O'Brien show, which I've watched. It's an embarrassing amount of time. I was just wondering, like, going into those story jokes, those shaggy dogs or whatever, was there an agenda that you were steering away from? Like, what did Conan think you guys were going to talk about? And would he just have you on the show just be like, come and just tell jokes because you don't know anything?
Well, when Conan started, no one would go on his show. And I started Saturday Night Live at the same time that Conan started his talk show. And so he wasn't that successful, so he'd always phone me and go, the lady with the potato chips canceled, and fill in, And so a man only has so many stories, so I had my one. And I told that on the first show. But the way for instance, like the moth joke, I was on Conan, and he said, you're going to be on one segment, so I did this segment. And then at the end of the segment, he goes, you got to do another segment. I'm like, but I got nothing to say. And then I remember Colin Quinn told me this joke that said like a moth was into a podiatrist's office, and he says, "Oh, I have all these problems," and the podiatrist goes, "Why did you come in here?" And he goes, "The light was on." And so I said, maybe I'll do that joke, but that joke only takes 8 seconds. So I know a thing has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's what I've always heard, even though I don't fucking understand what the fuck it means. That's why I put a big long middle. But yeah, with Conan, you know, I just, what I do is, when you have to, in these talk shows, they have these people called pre-interviewers, and you tell them the story, and they go to the host, and they tell the host the story, and then you tell the host the story that he's already heard. So you feel like you're a goddamn fool. So instead, I would make up stories to tell them. And then so, you know, let them go, I understand you got a haircut. And I go, no, I don't got no haircut. So after a while, they just let me do it. And they were all very kind men, you know, very, very funny men.
Tell us about it. It's the rules. It's how to capture a man's heart, and it's for women. And it says all these rules that you have to follow, and you will capture a man's heart. And the rule number 1: have huge breasts. Yeah, that guy likes it. Yeah, because apparently men love women with huge breasts. They do. They like that. Newlyweds Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson had their first argument this week. He wants kids, while she wants fake kids. Pop singer Madonna was outraged this week when a tabloid photographer snapped her picture while she was breastfeeding her new baby. Apparently, the baby was blocking her nipple. Connecticut legislatures are about to pass a law that would make it illegal to prohibit breastfeeding in public. Then, hopefully, these legislatures will also change the fascist law that the person being breastfed in public has to be a baby. Michael Jackson has reportedly stepped right into his new role as a dad, spending many hours a day with his newborn son, doing the changing, the burping, even the breastfeeding. So, it's nice when a fella does that. Asked recently what will set his new Batman film apart from its predecessors, Batman and Robin director Joel Schumacher said, quote, "In this one, all the costumes will have nipples." Note to self, do not watch the next Batman and Robin. Well, Premiere Magazine's list of the 100 most powerful people in Hollywood hit the newsstands this month. In an odd bit of ranking, Demi Moore was ranked number 28, while her breasts were ranked 20 and 21. So, in an interview out this week, Demi Moore says she would like to have another baby, this time a boy, to go along with her 3 daughters and 2 huge breasts. Demi Moore is wrapped filming on G.I. Jane, in which she plays a Navy SEAL combat officer. Moore says that in contrast to other Hollywood portrayals of women in the military, her character will have giant breasts. Actor Bruce Willis is filming his next movie, The Broadway Brawler, in Wilmington, Delaware. Meanwhile, his wife, Demi Moore, is taking a break from movie work, saying she wants to spend more time with her huge breasts.
I'm scared of letting go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go. I'm scared of letting go of everything and I'm scared of letting
I think it's attractive.
I like Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh, come on.
You're full.
You don't like her?
Come on.
You don't like Anna Nicole Smith?
Come on, she's gotten heavy. He's putting me on.
No, I'm not.
I
I saw a picture of her recently where she was really, really fat, where she didn't look good.
Right, but you're talking about years ago when she was thin. Oh, okay.
Not that long ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago.
So you like big breasts?
Yeah, I like big breasts.
Does your wife have big breasts?
She has normal size breasts.
What, C cups?
I don't know. I hear you talking about those. I don't follow those.
You're in bad shape. Do you like Sally Struthers too?
Oh, I did.
You
yeah.
did, right? Yeah, that's your type.
Oh my
like
God,
blonde
I
and
love
buxom.
Sally Struthers.
Not anymore though.
What?
Well, you don't like her anymore.
No, I don't like her with the flies around her.
Yeah, it's kind of a turn off.
When I look into your eyes, though, I'm not joking. When I
It's just I've never had a talk show host say that to me.
When I look into your eyes, I see...
and I've done hundreds of talk shows.
I see an eternal being.
Thank you, Norm. What a lovely thing to say.
So do you think there is such a thing?
And as what? As a supreme being?
No, an eternal being.
I think we all are.
Oh,
what surprises you about me?
What surprises
you about me?
You mean just during this interview?
Just in general.
You seem kind.
That's surprising?
Uh-huh. Because I would think you were cold.
Right.
And yet you're warm.
Oh, thank you.
And in your eyes, I always go by eyes.
Again,
I always go by eyes.
You should.
And it's
what if someone's blind?
It's not sexual. It's not only sexual.
What if someone's blind?
My dad knew a blind man. And my dad was in the war. He was, he was a double generation older than I. He had me when he was 50. So he was in.
That explains a lot.
He was in the great one. And all his friends were old.
Right.
And so.
Wayne Gretzky?
He had a
It's a good joke.
So he had a blind friend, and he come over. And my dad said, do you want a Coke, Elmer? RC Cola. Oh, God damn. We don't got no RC Cola. You got Coca-Cola, the gold standard.
Right.
And this blind bastard wants an RC. So go down to Avonmore, pick up an RC. Well, that's a 1.5 mile walk.
Right.
So I walk with this blind son of a bitch. And he says to me, he wants me to describe everything. So I said, okay, well, on the left there's some cows lowing, and, there's a fence. He goes, is it like a wood that's near petrified? I said, yes, it is. And how big is it? 3 feet. I said, John Neil Margerison used to own this land. He said, I don't want to hear that. He says, just tell me what is. And so all of a sudden, I saw things as they were. I was very young, but I'll never forget that. Because I had to see for this blind man, I had to see and describe not my opinions,
Right.
So when I went by John Neil Margerison's house a half a quarter later,
right,
I didn't mention John Neil or anything. I just described the house,
right,
because that's all he wanted to see. And then I began to realize that life is what is, not what you think it is, or not even what it appears to be sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you would agree that your life or my life is just a series of facts, a series of incidents. It's not what you dream or hope or believe, it's what you do.
I would say the exact opposite.
What do you think it is?
First of all, you mean to tell me this does not end with we suddenly realize why the hell are we getting this blind man a different brand? That's not the punchline?
Oh, no, there's no punchline.
Oh, my God. I thought I was being... Didn't you see a million miles away?
1,000%.
Why are we getting a different brand Coke for a blind man? That's not where we're going?
Well, he didn't... His sense of taste was expanded. He doesn't drink it through his eyes.
I guarantee you could fool a blind person with an off-brand Coke. But anyway, let's go back to your question. Is life the facts, or is it what we think it is? And I would, to me, the facts are somewhat irrelevant. And what you dream, hope, imagine is the reality. Our life is the perfect testament to that, because everything we are is only because we imagined it.
Yes, but you imagined it into being, and so the being is what's important.
Yeah, no. Because the imagined made it.
What if you just sit at home and imagine things on your chair? Are you just a person sitting on a chair, or are you what is in your mind, the imaginings of your soul?
The imaginings. The real world is not this. Mm-hmm. These are props. This is the trunk.
Is this the
real? act is in here.
Is this the real world?
If you were really funny, you would have poked me like Mo.
I mean, there's a reason that we don't look at each other in the chest. Isn't there?
Yeah, but we take notice of the chest. Oh. We look in the eyes, but we also look around.
You like a chesty lady, right? I'm not.
Oh, God.
I know it's time to close my eyes to what ends, open up to new friends, leave my heart in Berlin, where the tables turning, seeking up.
What's next for Jerry Seinfeld?
We'll find out. After this?
No.
Oh.
Because you're a young man.
I'm 62.
What?
Really?
62.
Holy look how lucky you get. Look good.
Yeah.
Looks a lot better than me, and I'm 68. Dreamlike.
How fast did that go?
I found it dreamlike.
Me too. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. There's something beautiful about this one.
I'm so
not
glad.
joking. I'm not being ironic.
No, I really loved it too. It was great.
Oh, that's great.
So
too bad this guy was here.
Yeah.
I'm a New Yorker. Yeah, New York? Nice. I actually got into an argument on the subway, and the guy quoted the Bible at me. That is not fair. Like, if you get to quote from your favorite book, I should be able to quote from my favorite book, right? He was like, men do not live on bread alone, Matthew 4:4. And it's like, everybody's a little bit magic, Harry Potter, chapter 7. It's not a fair fight, right? One of those books is a classic about a man who has sacrificed himself for the good of the world, and the other is the Bible. Do you know what I'm saying, people?
Roseanne, what are your thoughts on Harrison?
Well, I just love you, Harrison. You're fantastic. And you're real brave. I mean, the stuff you're talking about, Bible jokes, that's some brave.
Thank you.
And,
I disagree. I don't think the Bible joke is brave at all. I think if you're going to take on an entire religion, you should maybe know what you're talking about. J.K. Rowling is a Christian, and J.K. Rowling famously said that if you're familiar with the scriptures, you could easily guess the ending of her book.
huh?
Okay.
I don't like it.
You get a lot of attention on Twitter sphere for being open about your religious views. What are they?
I'm a Christian. It's not
Devout?
stylish to say now.
No, are you devout?
Yeah.
You believe in the Lord?
Yes, I do.
You think you're going somewhere when it ends?
I don't believe it, but what people don't understand about faith is that you have to choose it. You know what I mean? They think that you believe it, but you have to choose it.
So you choose to have faith?
Yes.
That means you believe you're going somewhere. What is faith? But I have faith.
Yeah, the same way that you believe. There's a lot of things I have faith, but I don't really believe in DNA. Like if I was on a jury and a guy was predicted that his DNA was on this cigarette, I go, I don't know what DNA is.
I see. So you don't have faith in that?
No, I don't have faith in science.
Really?
Well, think about it. Haven't scientists always been wrong? Like they used to think the sun went around the earth. Everybody's, hey, that's scientist. Well, he's so smart. We'll give him a white coat.
Other science refuted it.
Right, but back then, everybody at that time thought that guy was smart. Why at this time do we think that the earth goes around the sun?
Did Christ think the world was flat?
Huh?
Did Christ think the world was flat? These are questions I ask.
You know, I tweeted Richard Dawkins, this famous atheist.
Yeah, I know he is.
And, of course, he just thinks I'm a moron, because he went to Cambridge and I dropped out of high school. But I asked him, I said, why does life insist? And they didn't understand. What's that mean? I'm like, well, it means, I thought he was smart. So I said, why does life,
I know what you mean,
need to create other life?
Right.
Why do you have to procreate? Why do you have to live?
And fight to stay alive.
Yeah, fight to stay alive and make sure that your genes stay alive. Why do you have to do that? Why, if nothing matters, wouldn't the obvious thing to do be go extinct? You know what I mean? To me, that would be the clear and obviously self-evident thing to do. And, in fairness to Richard Dawkins, he said, oh, well, that's a philosophical question that I'll ask my friends and I'll try to get back to you. So it was very nice. But I think it lies at the heart of theology, and people of faith, especially in this town, they'll say, you believe in an invisible man in the sky. And, they already throw on you their ideas of what you believe in, although they don't know what you believe, They don't know what you think of as God, But the one question that always bothered me and always bothers everybody is, how can children die if there's a benevolent God, right? And how can 6 million go through the chimney at Birkenau,
Mm-hmm.
And this is a question that I think I have an answer for, because I think a lot about this kind of stuff. Because I'd really like there to be a God. I don't know at all, but I really would like there to be a God.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sarah Silverman told me, she's like, so you really believe in it? I go, I'm trying, She's like, you believe in an invisible man in the sky? She says it that way. So I'm like, well, whatever, if you want to say it that way. So she's like, well, good luck with that. And I'm like, well, it's a good luck for you, too. It's not like your idea of being thrown on the ground, having dirt tossed on you is such a beautiful, great idea.
That doesn't bother me.
Dirt thrown on you forever?
I mean, yeah, because I just sort of feel like it's probably just a blissful state of non-existence that I had before. Boy, I'm going to be it's going to be a huge bummer if that's not the case.
But if you have a blissful state of non-existence, then you're talking about an afterlife.
Well, okay, blissful is probably the wrong word. I just meant I'm not aware of anything, I think it'd be great if there was something, but if there's not, I think the worst thing would be your consciousness lives on, but there's nothing. So you just feel,
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, that would be hell.
I suppose.
I mean, Nabokov, I think, was the guy who said, he saw a picture of himself. I'm sorry, he saw a picture of his parents. And his parents had his older brother in his arm, and his mother had his older brother in her arms, and his mother and father and his older brother. But he had not been born yet. And he said he felt no grief or terror at that picture.
Sure.
Where he didn't exist.
Right.
So I thought that was very interesting. It's what you're saying.
Right.
That why be afraid of not existing? Because it's not really you that dies. It's the world that dies.
Sure.
And everything there is. Everything there is and everything.
I mean, I think it would be fantastic if there was some sort of a transformation of, this is a conservation of emotional energy that, once your emotional energy forms, it can't ever be destroyed, and it just disperses into the universe somehow, and you're a part of this thing that is you can't comprehend now, but once you're there, you'll totally get it.
It's very hard to believe.
But it'd be great if that were the,
of course it would be great.
I don't fault anyone.
But here's my answer for the
What's the answer?
For the chimneys. Here's what I believe. If there is a God, and if he is good, and if he created the universe and the earth, then an all good being, what can he create? He can't create good, because that would just be expansion.
Mm-hmm.
So all he can create is bad. So he creates bad, and then in a cool twist, the bad that he creates is allowed itself in a godlike way to create good from the bad. Because originally God created good from the bad, then bad from the good, and then he gives man the exact opportunity. So just from a standpoint of logic, which, is what atheists always try to say, I believe that there is an answer for the question of why God allows horrors, and that's what I come up with. But
I also,
I have a rabbi who I talk to a lot. I'm not Jewish.
No, McDonald's. No,
I was for a year, but he's the guy that knows. He's a scholar. Like my pastor doesn't know anything. Like he's just a pleasant guy. And he has
I don't know. You should probably look that up. What is there?
I know. If you ask him a direct question, you go, "Huh? What? Didn't you hear my sermon?" And the sermon's always like, how to be a nice fella, or something. It's always nonsense. But this pastor, I phoned this pastor because I try to read the scriptures and study them. Last week I asked this priest, this rabbi. I was saying, like in the Old Testament, they have the Lord's Prayer. And in the Lord's Prayer, he says, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And I said, how could God lead us into temptation? It's without his boundaries, it's without his fence. God can't do that, if I'm correct about the God of the Old Testament. He cannot. It's not in his nature. The devil can, but not God. So the devil's hard to believe in. Of all the religions, it's hard to say one's worse than the other, But I can say with all belief that there's one religion that's just not true. And that's the Church of Satan. I think it even purports to be not true. It's like, there's a guy that's bigger than me.
Well, I think some of them, I think some of the people who are, and I don't know, I can't speak for everyone, but just some of the stuff that I've seen online, I think some people adopt it as kind of a counter, like, okay, well, you guys have that guy over there with the beard, and then we have this guy.
Yeah.
And we should all be accepting it's not just that one, or just like, I think
right.
Sometimes I think it's
But do you really want to have a personal relationship with the devil? A guy, it's the only religion where there's a bigger, stronger guy outside, of that the Satanists say exists.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But they say we're going to go with the
guy
underdog.
who was, because that guy, that guy wasn't popular. He got cast out. So we're going to be with this guy over here because
maybe that's it. Maybe he's an outlaw.
Yeah, he's kind of an outlaw. Yeah, exactly.
He's definitely the original outlaw. Look, I don't want to say too many good things about the devil. But I guess he was. Now that you say it, he was the original.
I hadn't really thought about it before, but I guess now, he was the original guy who got kicked out of the party. Who doesn't relate to that?
Exactly.
It's like big popular guys having a party. There's naked people running around. There's snakes and apples. There's a beautiful garden. It's like, they get kicked out. Come on. Everyone knows what that feels like.
It's funny, people think that whatever religion you are, Christian or whatever, that you're so self-righteous, but actually, they feel they're sinners. When I was a Christian, I would sin all the time, and like I ate apples. That's on page 1 of the book. The worst possible thing you could do. And but anyways, I'm right now. I'm of no faith.
But you're looking for answers.
Yeah, I'll find something. I'm probably closer to Judaism right now than anything else.
Last week on Larry King Live, Marlon Brando made the shocking statement that Hollywood is, quote, run by Jews. In response, outraged Jewish organizations made it snow in New York in April. Well, earlier this week, actor Marlon Brando met with Jewish leaders to apologize for comments he made on Larry King Live. Among them, that, quote, Hollywood is run by Jews. The Jewish leaders accepted the actor's apology and announced that Brando is now free to work again. While in England, where he spoke at Oxford University, Simpson had defended actor Marlon Brando's criticism of Hollywood Jews. Later, from his island hideaway, Brando sent O.J. a telegram which read, "You're not helping." In Cincinnati, is Cincinnati Reds owner Marge Schott an anti-Semite? Well, it is beginning to look that way. According to a report out today, on the entire Cincinnati Reds team, there is not one Jewish player. A group of Orthodox rabbis declared that other branches of Judaism are, quote, not Judaism at all, thus challenging the religious status of millions of American Jews. This week, that statement was rejected by Reform leader Rabbi Don Schonstein, who said, quote, our legitimacy as Jews flows from the richness of our Jewish lives, the strength of our Jewish communities, and most important of all, our deep and abiding belief in Jesus Christ. Finally, folks, next week, Jews everywhere will be celebrating the holiday of Yom Kippur, or as non-Jews refer to it, Wednesday.
American Music Awards. This is exciting. I'm not actually in music, so let me introduce myself. To those of you who don't know me, I'm Norm MacDonald. For those of you not familiar with me, thank you very much. I am the biological child of Melissa Etheridge and Norm Crosby. So if you want to... Well, that's the big story in music news right now. Melissa Etheridge asked her friend David Crosby to be the biological father of her children. And you know, this was a new experience for David Crosby. Usually when David Crosby picks up a turkey baster, there's a turkey in the vicinity. That's right. He's a fat guy. You know, everyone's so obsessed with their careers nowadays in music, you know what I mean? Here's a kind of a nice story. Celine Dion is retiring from music to try to start a family, you know? And I think she's serious about it, because I just saw her backstage chasing David Crosby with a bucket and a copy of Swank. So
I think she's serious about it. I mean, I didn't know the Judds were back together. Did you know that? I just saw them. I just saw the Judds backstage. Yeah, you're big Judds fans? I just saw the Judds backstage chasing David Crosby around with 6 mason jars and a ham sandwich tied on a fishing pole. I don't know what it means.
I've been searching for what's missing, but the answer my way.
David, Melissa Etheridge has been to the society. Is a very special person. You helped her have 2 beautiful, smart children. How did you decide to give Melissa Etheridge something special?
This week is Taxi Cab Appreciation Week, so to all you taxi cab drivers out there, I'd appreciate it if you'd take a shower once in a while. How'd that go? PLO leader Yasser Arafat announced this week that his wife is pregnant. The happy couple said they really don't care if the child is a boy or a girl, just as long as it hates Jews. The United Paramount Network's new show Star Trek Voyager finished in first place Monday night with a 14.7 rating. For those of you who don't know, 1 rating point is equal to 950,000 nerds. Well, there's good news this week from strife-torn Ireland, where a historic peace agreement has just been signed. Gee, I wonder if anyone will celebrate by drinking. Angry over the Atlanta Braves and Cleveland Indians' use of Indian caricatures as logos, Native Americans showed up at the World Series tonight. They chanted for hours to protest Indian stereotypes, though it didn't help their cause any when it started to rain. In Nashua, New Hampshire this week, a high school student, Chris Connolly, while attempting to dunk a basketball, lost his balance, crashed down on the rim, and shattered 2 front teeth. Gee, I wonder if by some crazy chance Chris is white. Well, if I can be allowed a personal opinion, you know, I think Harrison Ford's new mustache works. And by works, I mean looks really gay. Well, this week, world chess champion Garry Kasparov defeated an IBM computer in their 6-game chess series. Experts are calling the encounter between chess wizard and supercomputer historic, because, for the first time ever, it brought together both geeks and nerds. In honor of this year's Academy Awards, Carnival Airlines is offering anyone named Oscar a free flight to or from Los Angeles. The airline had tried a similar promotion in the past for the Tony Awards, but according to airline spokesmen, they found that their planes were packed with too many, quote, greasy Italians. Last week on Larry King Live, Marlon Brando made the shocking statement that Hollywood is, quote, run by Jews. In response, outraged Jewish organizations made it snow in New York in April. In overseas news, an attempt to lift the ban on gays serving in the British Armed Forces has been defeated in Parliament. This raises a difficult legal question. How do you exactly tell if a British guy is gay? In Bridgeport, Connecticut, the Staticoti Indian tribe is seeking recognition by the Bureau of Indian Affairs in order to open either a manufacturing company or a casino. I wonder which one they'll choose. manufacturing company or the casino? Despite recent criticism, the School Board of Oakland, California has voted to proceed with its controversial Ebonics programs for city schools. In fact, school board officials today announced the winner of the first citywide Ebonics spelling bee, fourth grader Soon-Duk Kim. Congratulations to Soon-Duk Kim. Good job. Good job. Potential jurors for the O.J. Simpson case were asked to fill out a 75-page jury questionnaire this week. In the entire state of California, only one person got a perfect score. Chow Ming Wu, who after the trial plans to attend Caltech. In Michigan, State Historical Commission officials say they will not interfere with the building of a new major sports stadium, even if construction unearths historical artifacts. However, state Indian Affairs officials say that if relics from a Native American tribe are found, they would like to have the land set aside and designated as a sacred tribal burial ground / giant casino. According to the U.S. Bureau of the Census, California's population is expected to grow nearly 18 million by the year 2025. Also by the year 2025, it will be much easier to find a vacant apartment in Mexico. According to a new survey by the Women's Vote Project, women would be more likely to vote if they could send in ballots by mail or if polls were open longer. Also, more women would vote if you were permitted to bake your vote. They like to bake. Finally, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a man allowed his 8-year-old daughter to take the wheel of his car, and an accident ensued that damaged 7 other cars and injured 6 people, which once again proves my theory: women can't drive. 4 Wisconsin men have been charged with felony hate crimes after burning a man's buggy simply because he was Amish. If convicted, the men face up to 25 years in prison. But furious Amish leaders say that is not enough. They want the dunking wheel. On Wednesday, NASA launched the Space Shuttle Columbia on its 87th voyage. This trip by the shuttle will feature the first spacewalk ever by a Japanese astronaut who will get to take in the unique perspective of Earth from space. Gee, I wonder if there's any chance he'll take a picture. This week, computer hackers broke into Yahoo, the internet's most popular website, and vowed to unleash a crippling computer virus if a fellow hacker is not released from prison. Experts warn that catching these cyber terrorists will not be an easy task and may require the cooperation of both nerds and geeks. Safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentage in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do. No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women. I'm thankful for women.
Oh,
Conan.
there you go.
The greatest creatures on earth.
That's all right. We'll get behind that one.
I think women are more intelligent than men. Also, Conan, without women, there would be no cookies. I order a Polish sausage, you know, from this guy, you know, and so the guy says to me, you must be Polish. And I said, come on, man. I mean, come on.
think about it, what you're saying. You know, I'm trying to knock some sense into this fellow's head, maybe give him a wider world view, you know?
Sure, yeah.
I said, you think because I order a Polish sausage, I'm Polish. I said, what if somebody came in here and ordered French toast? Would you think he was French, you know?
Right.
I said, if a guy came in and he ordered a Cuban hamburger, are you going to assume he's a Cuban?
Right.
I said, I think it is absolutely ridiculous that just because I come in here, I order a Polish sausage, why would you jump to the fact that I'm Polish?
Right.
And the guy says to me, well, first of all, it's a hardware store.
How many Polish guys does it take to screw in a light bulb? The question cannot be answered because Polish people are so fucking stupid that no matter how many of them are available, none of them would ever be able to complete that simple task.
This is a meta joke. Have you aware of these meta jokes?
How many comedians does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
2. One to do it, and the other guy to go, how long's he been up there?
I like that.
On stage.
Yeah, because they was going,
how long? Like, how long?
Oh, that's a good one. Polish people, I remember the Poland, do you remember they were trying to, had something, they were trying to land on the sun.
Oh.
I was going to say that the Polish government did actually try to land on the sun back in the
No, they didn't.
Yes, and they were ridiculed for it because they said you'll burn up when you come anywhere near. They said we're going at night.
Who?
Now,
Oh.
Baby, I'm right as Zayna. Ain't got no drugs, so
all attitude. You have to say this with attitude. So you have to read ahead and use your acting skills. I liked you in She Devil.
Thank you. A study has found that men are just as likely as women to spread gossip. At least that's what I heard Rick tell Brad, who, by the way, has a crush on Patty.
Oh, does she?
All the racial things against Asians? Yeah, can you tell me them?
Well,
I love when the
Guy Aoki got mad at me one time.
Why?
He's the head of the guys that get defended.
Yeah.
In terms
so just
of
tell me some.
Well, he knows them the best.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
What about this?
Yeah,
I call it the
right
G word. The G word.
Do you know the G one?
Oh, gook?
Yes.
Well, you just said that like it came out so naturally.
Oh no, you're right about
you just said it just like secondhand.
I thought it was a term of endearment.
It's not. But can I tell you guys? Can I tell you guys where?
You think that's like a fucking handshake?
Tell me some of the Asian things that like
Like what you would call a guy.
Small penis?
No, like
names.
Names, yeah.
Oh, yellow. Yeah.
Yellow?
Man.
That's just what
Yellow,
you
no, yellow
said.
man, that's what you say.
Guy
You made that
makes
up.
Oh no,
Hey, yellow man, get out of my bar. I've never heard that.
No, that was just
Guy
my
runs
favorite.
out of the old one, so he has to make up a new one. Come on.
All right, he is the anchor of Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update. He also does a mean Bob Dole. Is there any other kind? Norm MacDonald. Hey, buddy. Thank you for coming. He's a rock and roller who sold over 45 million records. He could kick Slim Whitman's ass. Our very own favorite bat out of hell, Meatloaf, is right over here. How are you? Welcome to California.
Thank you. Hi, kids.
All right. Well,
All right.
now, you're a musician. Did you watch the American Music Awards last night?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, you should have. It was on this network. Well, I watched that last night, and I watched the Super Bowl, of course, like every other red-blooded American the day before. And I was thinking maybe I'd get an acclamation from this panel right to start off. Could we have people in show business and sports stop thanking God for what they do? God could give a rat's ass if you won an award or won a game. Like God cares about winning.
No, wait a second.
That's not what God's about, right?
Cowboys are playing.
Well, I thought God was very, you know, God is fair. I would say if you're God, right, I would say one of your qualities would be fairness, right?
Above all others.
Yeah. And I thought this was a very fair Super Bowl because Green Bay won by exactly 14 points.
They covered the spread, in other words, right?
Exactly. Nobody won, nobody lost.
What does that have to do with God?
I don't know.
But you know what I mean? Everybody gets up there, and the first thing they say is, thank God, I want to thank God. But I don't see that God is involved. I think it's their hubris to even say such a thing.
I think it's wonderful that they have faith in God, and they look to Him for everything to do.
I agree with you, Linda.
Oh.
By that. In fact, I thank God that I'm here tonight with you, Bill.
But by the same
Don't you think so? I think so. Hallelujah, we're here tonight. Hallelujah.
He hopped up on goofball. I think.
But by the same token, the Patriots should lose their faith in God now.
Exactly.
They're being tested.
I think that God has partisan. I mean, it's
I don't think God watched the American Music Awards.
exactly. I mean, he didn't get to where he is by giving a damn about it. The other thing is, how about this showboating that they all do? That these players, they celebrate the most inconsequential accomplishments. A guy puts on his chin strap and he's running around and routine tackles and plays. Now, my question here is also the dancing, you know. Now, let's be honest. In that Super Bowl, the only white guy dancing was Fred Astaire.
With a broom.
Right.
He's the only one not getting paid for dancing.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
the white guys
professional
can't
sport.
dance. They probably couldn't do
No.
that. I mean, that
They
shuffle
do
that...
chickens and gooses and things like that.
The white guys?
Yeah, Tony Saraguso, who plays for the Indianapolis Colts. He does the goose. That's where he gets his name. Somebody from Indianapolis.
But do you think that's more of a black thing? I mean, is it a black thing
They
that
do
we don't...
better.
What?
They do
No, they're just
better.
better dancers.
Yeah, they're better. And I think, you know
Goose
what?
really wants to dance. Go ahead.
What?
I think it's appropriate. I like it. It's a celebration. They're happy. They're having a good time. They're number one. They're, you know, they're
I mean,
good.
I think you can go too far. I think, you know, when you dance in the end zone, that's fine. When you bump heads with other... But, you know, sometimes, you know, I heard about one guy killed his wife and a waiter. You know what I mean?
You're referring to O.J. Simpson.
I'm not good with names. I just heard the story.
And there is another big sports story in the news. It was last week, a football player named Walt Sweeney. Do you remember him playing? You're a big fan. No? I don't either. But
Yeah,
you know? Okay, who did he play for? The Chargers, I think? All right. Okay. Anyway, he played 20 years ago, and he sued the NFL, and he won. The judge awarded him a couple of $1 million, and he said when he played, they made him take amphetamines and painkillers so he could get out there, and they encouraged drinking to be one of the boys, and now he's a drug addict from this stuff. That's what he said. He said his life has stood still for 20 years, and he's got the big mutton chop sideburns to prove it. And he's going to get money for this, and somebody else is going to take responsibility. Anybody
Yeah.
against
I always have something to say, Bill. No, am I against it? No, I'm not against it.
Really?
No. Because
Not against what?
I'm not against the court awarding him $2 million. Because if you played football in that era, you ever heard anybody say, and everybody here said it, I don't know what I would do if I wasn't doing what I'm doing. And
Yes,
it holds
I've heard
really
that.
true for professional football players. And in that era, they wasn't making that much money compared to what they do now. Steve Young, how much does Steve Young make a year?
Oh, lots.
A lot. Well, he took 20 cortisone shots at halftime in the Philadelphia game.
Who did?
Steve Young.
20 cortisone.
20 cortisone shots in his rib.
Wow. His ribs must have been really high.
Yeah. So, this guy...
But that's his choice.
I understand that. I understand that, but he wanted to play, right?
But in 20 years, he could say, you guys got me hooked. But it was his choice to play. And isn't it the same with this guy, Walt Sweeney?
But he's being paid to play.
He's being paid, right. He's being...
Right?
I agree.
He's being paid to play. In that era, if you didn't take the drugs, you weren't going to be paid to play anymore.
But you just said, I don't know whether you're arguing the meat or the loaf here, because you're...
I think I said the same thing at the same time.
I'm confused.
Are you confused? Did I confuse myself?
You're saying it's a matter of choice.
Exactly.
Bottom
Thank
line.
you.
But it's not really a matter of choice. I agree with
Did
Meatloaf.
some of them turn it down?
That's easy, since like our president, he's on both sides of the issue.
No, I'm not on both sides.
He's saying that you really have no choice. You have to do this to stay competitive.
Oh,
when I ran track when I was a kid,
Oh, don't brag.
and when it started, when I ran track, I was good. And then all of a sudden, people started jabbing what they told me was B12 into their ass. And it turned out to be steroids, but I didn't know that.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, and then
And they did this to you?
no, they didn't. They didn't jam anything in my ass. But all the guys were jamming B12 in their ass. I don't know. I shouldn't be saying jamming. They were injecting. Anyway.
Peacock syndrome in action right here.
But he would not have played had he not taken the painkillers.
Well, what
Did you see North Dallas 40?
Yes, I did.
That was that was some kind of Hollywood exaggeration, but I think it was close to the truth.
But the implications for the rest of society are tremendous in this. Isn't that true?
I agree. I have to believe there are some that turned down the drugs, that didn't take them.
Yeah, and they don't play.
Well, we don't know. I'd like to hear,
No, they don't, I'm telling you, they don't play.
Well, that should be illegal.
Would you feel differently if it was, say, a college football player 20 years later said, I'm illiterate because I played ball and they kept passing me through? Would you feel differently about it? Is it the drug issue, or is it the idea that somebody just went along?
I think that's a good analogy, but... But first of all, that's college. I mean, you are paying a college to educate you. So if they really, if they tried to and you just didn't do it, that's your personal responsibility.
So it's down to personal responsibility for
I
you,
think it is a
bottom line.
personal responsibility case. What about the hundreds and hundreds of football players who aren't suing, who did this? Why? How come their lives were able to
Some people have more of an addictive personality than others.
And the rest of us should pay for that?
Yeah, I think the guy with the really addictive personality is the one you should give $1.8 million to.
In all walks of life, forget football.
Right.
Aren't people compromising every day to keep their jobs?
But couldn't Jan Michael Vincent say show business made me what I am today? I mean, right? Show business makes people do terrible things. Like be on this show. All right, we're out of time in this area. We'll come back and talk about...
I need your love. You free my mind. I need your love. Yeah, you free my mind.
Military, well, because an important ruling came down last week from federal judge Shira Scheindlin, who said that they could now buy at the PX on the base dirty magazine, if you will. Big military support here. It's a big military state.
There's some deprived military personnel we can see.
She also included videos in the ruling saying they were also protected by free speech, although the plots were kind of thin. No, anyway, it was called the act that she overturned was called the Military Honor and Decency Act, which for years had banned the selling of this kind of material because they said in that act that they thought it would encourage sexual harassment. When now some people are saying maybe the opposite is true. A quick session with the pet of the month, and maybe that soldier is...
Yeah. You get sleepy. Don't you get sleepy?
What do you mean?
You don't want to rape somebody when you're sleepy.
Why are you sleepy?
Well, after you watch the porno. Listen, I like...
Norm, you have a strange metabolism.
Maybe it's those B12 shots you got.
Right. No, I
You're
like
in high
porno.
school.
I like porno as much as the next guy, And I probably like it. I probably like it 100 times as much as the next guy. But although I have been watching this is amazing, because porno is my favorite kind of movie to watch. And yet, I've seen some pornos lately that my buddies have shown me. Have you seen these ones with all male casts? Gay pornos, they're called. These things are horrible. And there's thousands of them. They make thousands of them. They have not made one good one. And I'll tell you what the problem with it is. Quite seriously. Yes, sir. Quite seriously, the problem with these gay pornos and every one guys having sex with each other. Who the hell wants to see that? You know?
Maybe you're shopping in the wrong section of the store.
It's not for me.
I wonder if they can't have those in the military base then.
But
don't ask, don't tell, don't watch.
Right. That's an interesting question. I don't know if this ruling includes gay material on the base. Do you know?
Well, you know, it's really ironic at a time when they're trying to sensitize the soldiers. They're sending them to training on how to treat women with respect, and now they're stocking the PXs with porno magazines. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's a mixed message, wouldn't you say?
Why?
Well, because these magazines degrade women. They do.
And I'll say one thing.
Why don't you just stand up for this segment? You know, like in the...
This is a little warning for people. Playgirl magazine has not got any girls in it.
I give up.
No, please, this hunk is done. But I don't see what you say. But they don't all degrade. You don't think Playboy
Well, I
degrades
don't look
women,
at
do
them.
you?
Obviously, I don't look at
Well,
them.
then how can you speak
I've
with
read
authority
about
if you
it,
don't
and
look
I have a general idea of what's going on.
Have you ever seen? Oh, you?
Yes, I have, but I don't. You know, I don't go out of my way to look for them. No, I don't.
Well, Norm has some material in
yes,
his,
I'll ask
dressing
Norm
room.
next time. I'll call him and
He's got
see what he
thousands of
thinks.
videos. But they're all male. You might enjoy that.
No.
You know who did Jackie Gleason?
Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett played Jackie Gleason.
How did that happen? A super tall guy, but he did it. He was great.
Jackie Gleason, yeah, the tall years or something. I don't know.
I shined up your bowling shoes for you, too. Are you comfy, sweetums? Oh, and by the way...
Aha! By the way, huh? All right, what's by the way?
I just saw Brad yesterday.
Brad, you were just inducted into the Television Hall of Fame of the National Association for Broadcasting.
Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Brad Garrett seemed like a long shot. I remember like him because he's so crazy tall. You'd see him at the Improv and you go, how could he be cast in anything?
Well, he wasn't, you know, we wrote the show based on my life, so it was based on my brother in real life, who really was a cop, a New York City cop, but he was like 5'10", and he had this kind of bitterness, but he nothing like Brad brought into it.
This is Robert, Ray's brother. Ray's brother?
Listen, Deborah, once again, it's that time of year where I have to ask you to look deep into your hearts and pockets to pledge your continued support for those of us who risk our lives for you.
Yeah, sure, Robert. How much?
Let me finish. Your $20 pledge enables us to upgrade our equipment, fund our community outreach program, and provide our canine division with crunchy treats. Thank you.
No, Brad, they were casting, you know, I was in New York, and they would keep telling me who they think is up for it, and then they say, we found a good choice for the brother, Brad Garrett, and I said, you know, because all I knew him was from Star Search. And he won the first year of Star Search, so I knew of him, and I knew he was this giant...
impressionist.
Yeah. I said, what?
From Hollywood, it's the world's greatest talent competition. It's Star Search with your host, Ed McMahon. From Los Angeles, Brad Garrett.
And Stu Smiley from HBO said he did this unique take on it, and I saw it, and yeah, it was a lucky. That's it. We didn't write that. That wasn't on the page. That persona.
Yeah. And
he brought that in.
Does he live in Las Vegas?
No, but he has a place there because he has that club.
I saw him there.
Where's it? The Rio?
He's almost like Rickles now.
Oh yeah, and he's got like a very young girlfriend. She was 25 when they met, and she's.
My girlfriend is quite a bit younger than me. You know the drill. And we were at a restaurant, and she's young, but she's, you know, she's growing. I mean, she's, you know, she's blossoming. This is her summer. And Rickles walks up to the table and looks at her and looks at me and goes, 12? She's 12? And then he says, have you been kidnapped, darling? Have you been kidnapped? Blink if you've been kidnapped. That was a funny encounter.
I feel like you and me, we couldn't be with a young girl. We'd feel too old. And then there's other guys that like young girls. Like,
well, it's the same theory as Vegas. You just get in and get out. I wouldn't want to stick around, but.
There's a passing resemblance, no question.
Yeah. So anyway, when you're in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, the oddest slogan I've ever heard. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, they say. Of course, it's not true. You can't kill a person and leave. They'll follow you across state lines and bring you back, and you'll face a jury of your peers. So I said, what does that mean? What does it mean? Like, what are they getting at, you know? I started ruminating about it. I whittled. I started whittling.
Oh, you whittle?
Yeah, when I ruminate, I whittle.
Whittle and ruminate.
Yeah, I whittle.
Hand in hand.
And I said, what does that actually mean? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? And it came to me in a sudden. What it means is you can have sex with a prostitute in Las Vegas and she will not tell your wife. They're very discreet in Vegas. They're not like these gossipy small town whores. You know. These blabbermouths down at the beauty parlor with that pale blue thing over their head, whatever that is, go, you're Hank Johnson's husband? By God, I had sex in exchange for cash last night with him. Small world.
Yeah, in exchange for cash. Now, Norm.
I know it's time to close my eyes to old ends, open up to new friends, leave my heart in Berlin, where the tables turning, seeking up a new vibe, running streets at midnight, cities never sleeping. I am in Berlin, Berlin.
But Brad, you know, she's great, and Brad's the first one to tell you. He'll joke about it, you know. He says every time she leaves the house, I gotta put out an Amber Alert, you know. And her father was there. She was there this weekend. Her father's younger than us. Her father's
Oh
younger.
my God. This guy's young, but
I'm
35.
35,
yeah.
Okay.
That seems young now to me.
Norm, let me ask you something. Seriously, what do you do for fun? Like, name one thing you do for fun.
For fun?
For fun. Like, I'm going to have some fun tonight
I've got
or today.
nothing to do today. Here's what I'm going to do.
Is it spend money? It's not go
Golf.
shopping. You don't decorate the place. What do you do?
I guess the only thing I do is I like to read sometimes.
You're lying.
I do. That's what I mean. That makes me.
Do you play video games? Do you play cards? Do you
solitaire?
I read a lot of Mark Twain.
There's only so much Mark Twain, and
not much actually.
Yeah.
I'm reading letters from Hawaii now, something I've never read before. But I read like stuff that I read a lot of literature. And
Do you go to movies?
I reread it a lot. No.
Great. Now that you are a author, can you tell us a little bit about your favorite books?
Well, my favorite books of all time?
Favorite books in general, all time?
My favorite book is Search for Lost Time. My favorite American book is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I love Russian literature, and that's what I read mostly. Yeah, you know, just the standard stuff. You know, I don't like Dostoevsky, but I like the actual good writers.
So yeah, my brother still has it. If you see turkey coops going down the road, if you see birds going down the road, most likely came from Tipton, Missouri. Those crates.
That's where you're from, Missouri.
Yeah.
Mark Twain country.
2 fathoms here.
Say again now? Is that a Mark Twain quote?
That's what Mark Twain, Mark II. Mark Twain.
Oh, that's
Mark
where
Twain.
That's where the word Mark Twain came from.
Got it.
On the riverboat.
2 fathoms here.
Yes, sir. You know his real name?
Samuel.
Ellen Claiborne.
No, I don't.
Or something like that, right?
He had it.
He had it.
Sam Clemens.
Samuel Clemens. You ever read any of his work?
Mark Twain?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the United States, it's required reading in grade school.
Well, sir, my son went to a school here in Los Angeles, California. And I don't like when they teach great writers minor work. I have to teach them the best work. Right?
Yeah.
So I went to the teacher and I said, why are you teaching my son Tom Sawyer when Huckleberry Finn,
Life on the Mississippi.
The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, drawing dust on the shelf behind you. Oh, it's because it's racist.
Mm-hmm.
It's racist. It's the least racist book ever. It's
Right.
it's anti-racist.
Exactly.
Goodness gracious, the ignorance of people.
Well, what happened to the rest of the story? That was it? She said we can't do that and that's it?
She said the next thing we're going to do is Toni. We're going to study Toni Morrison, and she's rad.
Wow.
This is a private school that I'm paying a lot of money for.
Yeah, I get you.
Feelings going up and down, picking up the pieces that you left behind, hitting a new type of flow, breathing in the smoke and clearing up my mind. The thoughts of you, I never knew what the hell you got me into. What do you mean?
Now listen, Dennis. Have you heard about this Huckleberry Finn thing?
I heard something about they wanted to take the N-word out, right?
Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to bring it up before I forgot, and then we'll get on to my my project.
All right. Do you have any observation on it, any tweak on it, or just the cognizance of the fact that they want to?
No, I feel it's a thorny issue.
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't the whole thing.
No.
I thought you were going to go like, well, how so, or something.
Tell us more, Norm. Why don't you do?
I feel it's a thorny issue.
Yeah,
I'll tell
me
you why.
too. Why, Norm?
Well, you got Mark Twain, and you're talking about. I mean, for those of you who don't know, what I'm talking about. They've taken out the N-word, out of many of the books of Huckleberry Finn.
Norm, they've taken out.
And so you got a thorny issue that I think I have a solution to. Do you want to hear it?
Oh man, never anything more.
Well, the thorny issue is this.
Yes.
You don't want to take, Mark Twain, one of the greatest writer ever to brush paper with ink, and change his words, for God's sake. On the other side of the coin, you don't want to have a young African American boy in school, hearing that word out loud and causing him pain. So it's a thorny issue. But I figure it this way. You've read Huckleberry Finn.
You are so splendidly demented. Yeah, I've read it.
You know it's written in the first person by Huckleberry Finn.
Yes, I do.
And it includes the N-word.
Yes.
Therefore, you just change Huckleberry Finn to a black kid.
And it's like a rap song at that point, right?
Exactly. Everything's cool.
Unfortunately, the radio station launched the day after Princess Diana died, so it was it wasn't quite the sort of fanfare and celebration. A bit like when Farrah Fawcett died, and then it was usurped by Michael Jackson.
Somebody told me the Queen murdered her.
Yes, she did. Yeah. Yes, that's well known in England. Yeah. So I'd like to apologise to the Queen.
Queen Elizabeth II visited Russia this week, becoming the first English monarch to set foot in the Soviet Union. The visit, which will last for 2 weeks, is expected to have absolutely no effect on anything whatsoever. Last week, Queen Elizabeth won £10 in her country's national lottery. However, she has no plans to quit her job as Queen of England.
Yeah, I knew. You think I didn't know? Why is it that you can't, England's not doing well financially.
Right.
Can't you get you call them your mates? They're friends. Yeah. Everybody else in the world, they call them mates. Sure. Get a couple of dozen of your mates and go down to that Buckingham Palace and kill the old bag.
To what end?
It's money.
Right. Are you an old sea captain? What is this shtick that are you drunk on rum? We were talking outside about why you never guest hosted for some of the like this. Now I'm beginning to realise. But it's what's weird is you're not even drunk, and yet it's the illusion of it is extraordinary. I'm pleased to see that I've broken from the rule of only having white blokes on the show, which seems to be you only have white men and Roseanne
because it's supposed to be a comedy.
Right.
But
it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. It's allegedly.
I heard you were an ass kicker too.
That's pretty fast.
I heard you were a rough character.
And the water.
I did. I heard stories.
That's different.
No. I heard stories. I heard stories about Norm where a drunk guy comes up to him at the bar and goes, "Hey, aren't you Norm?" And he's gone. He's just suddenly gone.
None of this.
Nor's back at the bar going, "Hey, what happened? What happened to that guy?"
I was early on that Sunny in Philadelphia. I told everybody to watch it from the early start.
And who else?
Got nothing from it.
And then
I even phoned their agent. I said, "Hey, that's a good show. Nobody's watching it, but I like it, and I'm in TV." They never got back to me.
Never did. DeVito's the EP on that show.
Oh,
He's got an axe to grind with.
Why? Because of the fist fight I had with Christopher Lloyd back at the Improv.
Exactly. You remember the incident.
Did you witness something with Norm, with Gilbert's friend Norm MacDonald while you were there?
I did.
I heard you tell this story.
Well, it was. Do you know
this, Gil?
It's Ian Maxtone Graham, who is he's a writer. He's written on The Simpsons, and he was on SNL at the time. He might still be a writer on The Simpsons. I don't know, but he's this big, tall guy, and he was always in his jogging suit. He was always out running and working out and stuff. So he came into the writers' room there, and Norm was smoking a cigarette, and he's not supposed to be smoking indoors at the time, but Norm just light up a cigarette. So he's Jay Moore is the only one who does a really great Norm MacDonald. But anyway, he's smoking a cigarette, and Ian, said, "You're not supposed to smoke up here." And Norm said, "Yeah, don't worry about it," or something like that. And so Ian squirts him with a bottle of water, just squirts him in the face with it to put the cigarette out. And Norm took a swing at him, and they went at it, and it was pretty good for a couple of seconds. Two real tall, kind of gawky guys, swinging away at each other. And Farley broke it up. Farley just stepped in because he was, that was who he was. And, so it was, I wish it should have ended with someone going out the window, but it didn't.
An entertaining 26 seconds. 26 episodes. However many weeks you were there.
Yeah, I had some fun.
Was Norm screaming or yelling stuff at him while he was punching?
I don't think so. Yeah. I think it was pretty physical. I think nothing needed to be spoken at that point. Yeah.
No, you cocksucker. Gonna fucking kill you.
Herb Sargent told me that Norm punched a couple of people out there. I think it happened more than once.
Wow. I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy. I mean,
he is.
He is. I think he's fabulous. I think he's very funny, and I think he's a very smart guy, and he's a very kind of sensitive guy. I mean, he just did this Larry King interview. It's on Hulu, and he's really kind of wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he teared up at the last week of
I
Letterman.
know.
He did
Well, that
that.
was-
It was so moving.
That was amazing.
Yeah. It was a real moment.
Yeah.
Well, you and I met under unusual circumstances.
We did.
Yeah, there was a period of time in, what year was it? 96? 96. It was a very brief period of time. For 1 month, I was a guest writer over at SNL. Really, really wanted a job, like really wanted a writing job. And it didn't happen.
Right.
And, but...
There's still time.
There's, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And one night I was having a soccer game, and you were an intern there, right?
I was an intern. So, I was 19 years old, and I was an intern at SNL. And I was living in Brooklyn with my grandmother while I did the internship. And so she didn't have cable or anything, so I would hang out at SNL like after hours and just watch TV, and she didn't have a computer either. She was Amish. So I would just stay and work on the computer and watch television, and Colin Quinn and Norm Macdonald would always get into these like late night soccer games in the hallway.
Kind of driving everybody crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but as a 19-year-old, it was kind of like, this is amazing! So, yeah.
Well, I was 31, and I was like, this is amazing!
Okay, good.
I felt the
All
same
right.
way, because I was a guest writer there, and I would jump in on these soccer games. It would be like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And people were like on deadline trying to get the scripts done for Saturday. It was like Friday night.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with Norm, because I was sometimes I would sit in and write on Weekend Update, and Norm got into a huge fight one night.
Right.
In the soccer game.
Yes.
And it was with you.
Yes. Yes. That's true. Yeah. What had happened, you were in the game as well, I believe.
It was me and Norm against you and Colin.
Right. And so then at some point, early in the game, Colin and Norm had been jawing at each other.
Yeah, they had been fighting.
And Norm was also trying to quit smoking, so he was extra agitated. And at some point, Norm and I got into a bit of a scrum for the ball, and I wound up clipping him in the shin. And then he got really mad, like you do when you're trying to quit smoking, and grabbed me and tried to throw me across the room, which is not how soccer's played. And I pushed him off of me because I was 19 and didn't really understand like stations of power. And then we got into a shoving match and started yelling at each other.
And Colin and I pulled you two apart.
Right, yes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And the part about the story, I enjoy the story, but I enjoy the story, but the part I enjoy about the story is that the way one of the first times you and I ever had a conversation was about our period of time, both briefly at SNL, and I told you that story not remembering that you were the kid that Norm was fighting.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you went...
Yeah, that was me, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of how we met.
Yes, yeah.
This is Norm Macdonald is threatening Seth Simons on the...
What does he say?
So Seth Simons goes, same energy, and he posted a picture of the Joker and Donald Trump,
Ugh.
which is like...
Shut. Oh my God.
You
fucking loser.
And fucking Norm Macdonald wrote, hey, you fucking piece of shit. It's you that's the Joker, a failed stand-up that kills someone who got a TV show. I cannot wait to meet you, and I will.
Damn, dude. Yeah. That's so sick. That is awesome. Norm's just like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck.
Is it really my fault? 'Cause you try to hit me with your pity till I can't trust, but I still push on. Got me changing my ways, trying to fix it.
I'm sleeping with your wife.
You son of a bitch of a motherfucker! Huh? You sleep with my fucking wife? You do it on fucking Friday night, were you? Huh? She said she's going out with her friend. Hey, can you get my Louisville Slugger for me, please?
Oh, Norm.
Ah, the Louisville Slugger. It's an American tradition. Quality, craftsmanship, and pride. You can find them all when a sporting good bears the name Louisville Slugger. We'll be back with Roseanne.
Honorable Norm
what are you
Macdonald.
doing?
Judge Judy's the guest.
I had an idea.
Oh, you had an idea,
Yeah,
huh?
you know-
What's this?
It's my nightstick.
What's this?
Oh, that's my real pistol.
And what did I tell you about having ideas?
Good.
No, I didn't tell you that. I have an idea. My idea is to pistol whip you.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Ah! Oh, God. Ah! 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 Ah!
Adam Egat.
Yeah.
Would you come in, please?
What's up? How'd it go?
I just wanted to compliment you. Yes, you have a very nice tie. And I like your shirt. What was the, I was thinking about that unconscious, subconscious thing, because I remember my buddy one time, he's in psychology, he went to college, this guy, and I love milk, right? So we were eating a meal one time, and so I take a drink of milk, and my friend goes, you know why you're drinking that milk, right, Norm? And I say to him, it's not because I like milk, I know that. Because I know this guy, you know. So he goes, no, it's not. He goes, the reason you're drinking that milk is because you miss sucking on your mother's breast. I'm like, ah. Now you guys don't know my mother. But she's wonderful. She's a saint. You know how people, say their mothers are saints? My mother is actually a saint. So, I mean, she hasn't performed 2 miracles, right? I guess she's not actually a saint, but she's much more saint-like than your fucking mother. That's what I'm saying. But there was a generation, like my mother's 85, there was a generation of women that you all know. Maybe it was your mother, maybe it was your grandmother. But they lived at a time, and I support you, me too, you too. More than anything, because, for the young girls, it's going to be fantastic. But no one like my mother will ever exist again. And it's just this generation of women that were so, selfless, and like my mother would be, the type of woman, like at dinner time, everyone's eating, and she's in the kitchen, and everybody have a second, are you sure? And then, oh, but the turnips, and wanted to make sure everybody got, and then she would, whatever was left, she would make a little plate for herself, and that's what my mother was like, still is like, she lives right beside me. Her eyes shine love. I've never heard her say a phrase that had any irony flecked in, She just, and so happy, Like she'll come back to the grocery store, she'll go, Norm, the funniest thing happened in the store. I said, what happened, Mom? She says, there was a woman buying pineapple. It was $1.69 last week, and this week it was $1.19. I'm like, that's not a story, old bag. What the fuck? A story has to, I don't say that, but I would trade places with my mother in a second, because all she knows is love, how to love people. That's hard, man. That's hard. I forgot why you brought that up. Oh, I remember. I don't want to suck her tits. So maybe I'm shallow. I want to suck my mother's tits, all right? So anyways, I'm having this discussion with this guy at the fucking restaurant, and now, after he tells me this, the milk is still there. And what the fuck am I gonna do? Guzzle it? Milk, I can't just leave it there. It was the worst. Whatever. Oh, and then it came time to order our entrees. You know what this guy gets? 2 meatballs and a banana. I'm like, hey! Wait, wasn't even on the menu. Like he had to. What's good for the goose is this is just absolutely. I read about that subconscious, unconscious. They said when you pick a president, this is an election year. This is kind of some.
this year for me and my mother to say what we were thankful for. This is my mother, Fern. Now, we've written them down on index cards, what we're most thankful for. Should I begin?
You can just start.
I am thankful for the opportunity to do stand-up comedy for a living. Why, there is nothing more gratifying than to step out on a stage before a quiet crowd and through my comedy, turn them into an unruly mob.
I am thankful for the brave man who pulled me from a burning building last week and sadly perished. In the process, I'll never forget him. I don't remember his name, but I think he had a mustache.
I am thankful for women, the greatest creatures on earth, because without women, there would be no cookies.
I am thankful for the kindly ladies who live across the country and leave pies on their windowsills. So an old chunk of coal like me have a bite to eat from time to time. I am thankful for the troops, except for that one guy. I am thankful for all of my grandchildren, especially the ones I like. I am thankful for the fine young men and women of the LAPD, along with the Burbank Police Department, who joined forces this year and finally solved the baffling murder of Bob Hope. And finally, I am thankful for friends without which it would be a cold and dark place. Yes, friends especially like ones where Joey gets Chandler a duck. The end. I hope everybody had a really happy Thanksgiving.
Why you going high? Push me to the side. Just keep going on and I ain't getting tired. Yeah, you try to crucify all the good inside. You going come now.
Norm MacDonald's mom is here. Should we say hi to her?
Yeah,
She's
where
in the
is
back.
she?
Way in the back there.
There she is!
Hey, Norm got her last row. That's right. All right. And I just want to point out, she's been at every taping of my show for 23 years.
She always sits right in the back, so she can get out of here.
We get her the best seat.
Beat the traffic.
That's right. Norm MacDonald's mom! There she is right there. She tried to leave.
You look for jokes that have the same setup as the punchline. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I said the perfect joke would be if the punchline and the setup were almost identical.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts told reporters this week that her marriage to Lyle Lovett has been over for some time. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Julia Roberts and that she was married to Lyle Lovett. Christy Brinkley told reporters this week that her marriage to Billy Joel was over long before their divorce. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Christy Brinkley and that she was married to Billy Joel. According to an obscure 14th century law, British Army Captain James Hewitt could be hanged for having an affair with Princess Diana. The punishment for having sex with Princess Diana is death. The punishment for having sex with Princess Anne is having sex with Princess Anne. A new development in the O.J. Simpson civil trial this week. According to sworn testimony, Nicole Brown Simpson had told her therapist that she was afraid of getting beaten by O.J. Simpson. Asked why he didn't report this earlier, the therapist said, I was afraid of getting beaten by O.J. Simpson. Our top story tonight comes from the O.J. Simpson civil trial, where this week it was revealed that in his first interview with police, Simpson had refused to take a lie detector test. His reason? It detects lies. When I was a kid, my dad would tell me that this man was a gold medal decathlete. Why, the greatest athlete in the world. And now I have to tell my kid that this man is a man. A Labor Department task force says it will crack down on sweatshops in New York's Chinatown, where employees work 90-hour weeks for as little as 75 cents an hour. A spokesman for the sweatshop owner said, quote, "That's all we can afford to pay. This is a sweatshop. We make sweat." 18-year-old Julie Wozchak will be going to Paris after winning an essay contest sponsored by the Dayton Daily News. She won for her essay, which was entitled, "Why I Want to Go to Paris with Some Old Guy from the Daily Dayton News." Dayton Daily News. Like that would have helped. Okay. A 3-year-old Texas boy remains in fair condition after being assaulted by the family's pet cougar. No one knows why the attack occurred, but hey, how about because their pet is a cougar? How about... Rap star Hammer is suing the Los Angeles Police Department after he and his entourage were mistakenly handcuffed by police. The most shocking part of this story, Hammer has an entourage. Painting that depicts a large rat sucking at the breast of the Blessed Virgin Mary was removed from a high school art display due to complaints by local residents. The artist blamed the complaints on a lack of art education, while I blame the complaints on the fact that it was a painting of a large rat sucking the breast of the Blessed Virgin Mary.
This guy died, Jerry Rubin, and he was a yippie.
Yes.
Not a hippie, but a yippie. I remember my dad going, who is that, a goddamn hippie or a yippie? You know?
Yippee! Jerry Rubin died last week. Oh, I'm sorry, that should read, Yippee Jerry Rubin died last week. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. My mistake completely. Just, I didn't read it right.
I saw, this was an interesting thing I saw. You know they have that little scroll that goes under CNN? I'm watching it the other day, Baghdad's getting bombed, right?
Right.
And underneath on the scroll it says, Daniel Kellison to leave the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Isn't that backwards?
You think they should have been covering that in the regular news, and the little crawl should have been Baghdad is bombed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, what about this? What if you, I've always wondered this, you know when you drive from Vegas to, from Los Angeles to Las Vegas?
Yeah, usually.
And then there's that thing where you hit the Vegas border.
Yeah.
And it's a casino, right? I don't know what that town's called, but as soon as you cross.
It's that town. It's like for people who have such bad gambling problems, they can't wait to get to Las Vegas. I got to pull off now and bet. I can't.
But don't you think it's happened where like a person has flown in from some former country, got to L.A., driven, seen that, figured it was Vegas.
Oh, and just spent like the weekend there?
Yeah, and then came home.
Doesn't that have a rock in the name? It's like something rock or rock
yeah,
something.
Yeah, it is rock something.
Red Rock or...
Little Rock, Arkansas? Oh, my God.
Explain to me.
Daniel's not exactly Watson over here. I also want to tell you, I have a bet with Daniel Kellison, a rather large figure.
Daniel Kellison, who put this whole thing together way over his head.
He says you
did it.
He says you can explain what the fuck Jash is.
Jash is
pay up, fucker.
Jash is a comedy collective, a United Artists, if you will. Uniting myself, Reggie Watts, Michael Cera, and Tim and Eric. And what do? We do whatever we dream up. We shoot it, and it goes on there. We can fail, we can do well. It's total freedom.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
You got me, Norm.
I mean, I've never heard the word collective
I know, but
Leon
Daniel
Trotsky.
puts buzzwords in my head,
Oh, he
and then I
does?
just blank.
Last week,
I hope he's alive.
Daniel, we wanted to book Jan Michael Vincent. The guy tells us he's dead. He's not dead at all. he's all clean like you guys.
Miami Vice?
Airwolf.
Airwolf. Oh.
And I could not be more excited about this podcast until about 10 minutes ago, because our guest was going to be the great Robert Blake.
Yeah.
And I love Robert Blake, and I always have since I was a little kid, because I watched Beretta, which was my favorite show. And that's probably before your time, Adam.
Yes, definitely.
So I said, let's get Robert Blake.
Yeah, it would have been a great guest. He's engaging.
How exciting that going to be? And we got him on. I got him on the phone only for 5 seconds.
What happened?
Daniel Kellison apparently was on the phone for an hour.
How did that go?
I don't think it went well.
Probably not.
The thing is, Robert Blake was supposed to be on the show, and I was all excited, and then we fucking had to get Fred Stoller.
Yeah.
God damn, it was a depressing day. Because
Yeah.
Robert Blake was supposed to come in, and then Daniel Kellison talks to him on the phone for an hour, and he fucking won't show up. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. We tried to book on this program Robert Blake, who Daniel fucked up. We could have had him.
This close.
What happened?
Daniel talked. First of all, Robert Blake doesn't like guys in suits. And Daniel talked to him for an hour.
Hey, we all have that problem.
But I've read your book. This is about your life. So I'm much more familiar with your life.
Bonnie's life, and it's not about my relationship with Bonnie. I made a deal to come here and talk about anything in the book. I excused you from that deal because I thought you were going to go be cool. Now you're trying to drive it into the ground, and I don't know why.
I'm not trying to drive anything into the ground.
Foolish.
He doesn't like that was.
Oh, I see.
So and then what did Daniel say at the end of the interview?
I'd love to say in chat, but I got to go have dinner with my wife.
At Vitello.
No, but not as a joke. Like, I don't know if he meant it as that. Like, I don't think he meant.
This is a great story so far.
Have you ever had a girl in bed that wants you to spit on her face?
No.
That's what someone. Have you ever had that?
No.
Well, someone told me it's the next big thing. It was Daniel Kellison. He's. That his wife likes when his wife demands that
But that's on porno movies.
It might just be in Daniel Kellison's real life, but he says his wife demands that he spit on her face and imagine that she's blowing a big African American.